Hello and welcome to Flames of War Tank Aces solo game. The rules used are Flames of War with the supplement. I forgot the name of the supplement. It's early in the morning. But anyways, it's the Tank Aces supplement for it. And today we are recreating one of the battles that occurred near Nancy in France, 1944. The two teams. We have the Shermans from the 4th Armored Division. They are confident veterans. They're very experts in what they do. They have battled from North Africa to Italy, Normandy, and here they are, 1944 France. And Patton is pushing forward. So let's take a look at the players here. Here is your basic M4A1 Sherman 75mm gun. Very useful, very reliable, and if you watch the movie Fury, you probably saw it on there. They're a confident veteran, as mentioned earlier. And we also have the leader of the pack, our very own tank ace, the M4A176, and you may notice, hey, he's got a bigger gun. Correct. That's the 76mm gun, and it is a little bit more powerful compared to the smaller 75mm gun of the regular Sherman. The 76mm came in just about the time Normandy was happening because the Americans realized they needed something a little bit more powerful to punch the German armor, and they were having problems with that. The Sherman was not originally designed to be a tank to go and take out other tanks. It was designed to be an infantry support vehicle. So they have really awesome high explosives, things to take out bunkers, anti-tank nests, machine gun nests, but it really was not designed to go and take out other German tanks, but it was pressed into service in doing so. A lot of Shermans were lost at that time, so the guys that you're seeing here, they're the survivors. They're the tough guys. On the other side here, we have Panzer Brigade 106. Recently, this is a brand new team, recently formed from a few remaining veterans from the Eastern Front with a lot of raw recruits. Well, raw is not the right way to say it. These guys got basic training, but have not had the time to be able to work together as a unit, a fighting unit, and thus they have the relating of reluctant trained compared to the American confident veteran. Now, this is a 500-point game because you may notice that, hey, there's 8 German tanks and we've got 4 American tanks. This is what happens when you're in a point-based game. When you have higher quality units, you get fewer of them because they are more expensive. But let's take a look at our contenders here. This is the Mark IV. In this case here, the H. Would notice the side skirts there. Those side skirts are there to help deflect rounds from bazookas. Turns out we're not having any bazookas in this game, so it's kind of useless. But, on the other hand, this tank design, the Mark IV, as the British call it, has been there throughout the entire war. In fact, it's the only design that has been there throughout the entire war in any appreciable numbers. It has a 75mm gun capable of penetrating Shermans, but these guys are reluctant, and they're trained, but they're not experienced veterans. So, as we take a look at this, these guys are pretty reliable. They have been the workhorse of the German Panzer Army throughout the entire war. There are other tanks out there, but for today, we're working with the Mark IV. So, team setup. We have our company commander, our second in command. We have platoon number 1. This is the platoon leader. Here's platoon number 2. This is the platoon leader. Okay? 8 Panzer IVs compared to our lone band of confident veteran Shermans. Here is our leader, our company commander, and these are our first platoon. Stay tuned as we will do the setup and the objectives of today's game. And now for a sponsored commercial break. And we are back from our break. So, for this game here, we are talking about the Tank Aces game done by Flames of War for Battlefront. The mission is called Scrapyard Mission. The objective is very simple. Destroy all the other guys' tanks. That's pretty much it. The board was split in half. The sides were rolled. Americans got to deploy first, and they also have the first turn moving. But here we go we'll just do a quick flyover so you can see where the Germans have deployed. Okay, they have their glorious 8 tanks. Our commander and 2 IC are over here. We got 1 platoon here, staring straight down the street there, a la Western style. And over here, we have got another platoon. As we fly over to the other side with and the first shots of the game have been fired as our 3 Shermans of the 4th Armored Division fired on this lone German tank here of the 111th Panzer Brigade. And it resulted in a bailout. Well, bailout covers a lot of things. It could be that the crew is stunned. It could be that the tank caught on fire and the crew's trying to put it out. It could be that the crew thought the ammo was going to blow up, so they hopped out of the tank. So the term bailout it covers a whole bunch of situations. But for now, the first shots have been fired in this fight, and we have 1 bailed out German tank. We are now going to go for German turn 1. And in the turns, in Flames of War, you start out with a starting phase. Then you have move, shoot, and assault. But we have no infantry, so assault doesn't exist. But for starting, what we can do here is we can roll for the German to get the crew to get back into the tank. And let's see if the dice will tell us that. And it rolled, yep, the German cross, which represents a 6. Yes, sirree. That means they are now back in the tank. They are back in action. And it is now the Germans' turn to move. German movement phase is done on German turn 1, and we are going to start the shooting. Now, of course, one of the things is that the Germans, they're bringing more barrels to the fight compared to the veteran Americans, but the problem is that the Americans are going to be harder to hit because they are veteran, and that does make a difference. We'll be back with the results. And the firing's done, and the first casualty of the game has been had. The Germans, this group here, fired their tanks. They managed to knock out 1 American tank completely. That thing is burning. Wow. These guys, this platoon fired on those guys, but no effect. They did hit, but it just went clang. It didn't penetrate. So this concludes German turn 1. We are now moving on to turn 2. Turn 2. American Sherman moved to over here to go help his buddies, and we're now going to be doing the firing. Alright, the firing is done, and the Americans missed hitting these guys. They hit once, and it didn't penetrate. Okay, end of American turn 2. We are now moving on with German turn 2. What are the Germans gonna do next? I'm thinking closing in for the kill. Okay, end of German movement phase turn 2. You can see the Germans have moved up, and we now basically have 6 barrels against the Americans. We can go ahead and roll for them. They're veterans. Yeah, that's going to make it a little harder. So for the Germans, it's 50-50, 6 barrels. They need base hit to 4. Base to hit is 4, and that means we're going to need 4 up, 4, 5, or 6 to hit. Oh, we got 2 hits, and we'll place it on these 2 guys. We'll place it on these 2 Shermans here. Let's see. Now, they got hit. The frontal armor, that's the thing. Americans have a frontal armor of 6. They need to roll high. And 5 plus 6 is 11. That's the same as the German AT. Possible bailout. And, yep, the American bailed out. We have to check the other American armor to see if it blew up. So the Americans have lost 1 tank completely, and another tank has bailed out. Wow, this is going to be a short game. Okay, we are now starting on turn 3, American turn 3. We've got 1 American that's bailed out. They're confident they can get back in, and let's roll. Ooh! The guy is not going back in this turn. That means one thing. We only have 1 functioning tank left out there to go and take on the might of the inexperienced Panzer Brigade. Well, we're not moving. We're just going to roll to see if we hit. Now, when standing still, you get a higher rate of fire, 2 dice instead of 1, and we need 3 or above. We got 2 hits, so for the Germans, we'll put it on this guy and this guy here. Okay, so we'll put it on there. And we'll see the German front armor is 6. The American armor piercing is 10. So the Germans need to roll a 5 or higher to beat it. So let's go. 6 and a 2, because the cross represents the 6. Okay. 1 German is not affected. The other German has been penetrated. Now we have to see if it's destroyed or bailed out. And yes, at least the Germans have a casualty for the first time this in game. Wow. Okay. Okay, 1 German tank out of action. The other tanks are doing fine. The Americans are on the ropes. This could be the end. This could be the final turn. We shall see. Germans are not going to move. They're going to stand where they are. They have 10 dice. 10 dice against the remaining 2 American tanks. Here we go for rolling. They need 4 up to hit. There's 6. There's 9, 10. So they need 4 ups. Oh dear. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Okay, that's 3 on each side. Oh. Okay, we're going to roll for the bailed out guy first. Okay. And let's see, 4 plus 7 is 11, because that 76 mil gun gives it the advantage. It's a little extra armor and possible bails. Let's see. 2 more bails. So now the American commander has to make a morale check to see if he's out. The tank is gone. The tank is eliminated. Ooh, this is not looking good. The punch through for the other American armor, it's a 6. He survives. He survives another turn. Oh man, talk about the American spirit. He's going to make a valiant last stand before he goes out in a blaze of glory. The commander being bailed out, running back to the lines, crying for mom. Okay, we are getting to the 4th turn then. So we're going to go ahead and go to the church tower here. And now it is officially turn 4. Okay, the American is going to stand where he is. He's going to shoot 2 dice for his rate of fire. And, ooh, he hits 2 Germans. And he's aiming for the same platoon. And they both take the hit, so we will roll for the platoon commander. He rolls a 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. Greater than the 10. Nothing happens. For the other German, also rolls a 5. Wow, the Americans are not lucky this game. No effect on the Germans. Now it's the Germans' turn. This is not going to be good. as the Germans will now open fire with everything. Might as well. It's stand and shoot time, folks. We have got 10 dice to work with here. 7, 10. If they can't take out the American tank with 10 dice. Seriously? Seriously, folks? Okay, let's... My zoom came back. There we go. Yeah, 10 dice. Come on. We should be able to. Hitting on 4s. Okay, we got 1 hit. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits. Sounds about right. So now the Americans need to roll 5 dice to hopefully get out of that mess. They need to roll 5 or 6s. They need to roll 6s to totally get out. Oh, not enough. That means the Germans get to roll 5 times to see if they blow them up. And that's it for the game, ladies and gentlemen. 2 5s and a 6. The last Sherman tank made its valiant stand and pop. That's it. It's over. Man, 4 turns and the 4th Armored Division just took it in the shorts. This wasn't good. This wasn't positive. Patton is not going to be happy about this. Neither is Armored Command. But there you have it. Now, there was something I didn't do with this game, and that's have tactical edges, which could possibly make a difference for the game. It's my first time playing this game, and I might have made some mistakes, but this is a short, pretty sharp firefight. The reason why the Germans had so many more tanks compared to the Americans, because when your motivation is reluctant, it's harder for you to get back into your vehicle if you were bailed out compared to confident, and being trained is easier to get shot at and hit compared to being veteran, getting shot at and hit. So yeah, that's it for this game, resulting in the loss of 4 American tanks for the loss of 1 German Panzer. The 111th Panzer Brigade has held. That's it for now.